So Danny, we're through to the FA Youth Cup second round. What does this mean to you and the team?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. Even for the lads, it's the target they set themselves at the start of pre-season in terms of the Youth Cup was to, as a minimum, get to the first round proper. And they can be proud of that achievement. It's and now the message to them is into the second round. The games are only going to get tougher. But like I said yesterday to the boys and to you, Cam, they've got to dream and believe that they can go as far as possible in this competition.
Seems to love a 3-0 win in this competition. What did you make of particularly that second half?
Yeah, I think at half time, I think the first half we probably had majority of control of the game. If anything, they looked probably not dangerous but more counter-attacks. And the real first opportunity they got was when they hit the post or the bar towards the end of the first half. So they could have gone in at 1-0 up, but they didn't. And so the message at half time was just around, they went into like a sort of a mid-low block towards the end of the first half. So it's just around being patient with the ball, trying to work overloads on one side of the pitch to either get in on that side or then work the switch quickly to get out the other side. And even before we scored the first goal, the boys got 2 or 3 good opportunities from working the ball in terms of them overloads, them switches of play, and we felt a goal was coming before the first one did. And if I'm honest, the second half, probably apart from a 10-15 minute spell towards the end of normal time, which still had to do. They were losing the game 2-0, so they had to change something. And they started to put balls into our box, long throws, crosses. But the boys defended the goal really well in terms of getting first contact, getting blocks, and dying for the calls to not concede a goal. And then obviously circumstances which are unfortunate. There was a delay in the game. So then it's around the mindset, around the concentration. Obviously in that slight break in the change rooms, we said to the boys, get the next goal. And I mean, Brandon's got the next goal within a minute of the restart. And after that, it could have been 6, 7, 8 really.
Looking at Tommy Telford's performance in particular, obviously he's got his first goal in the competition. It's the first year who's making his way in the team, stepping up in age group. What do you make of sort of his contributions and also the other first years that have been stepping up across this competition? Yeah,
outstanding. I mean, even in terms of Tom Telford, even against Sudbury, he was outstanding, especially in the second half. And even tonight in the first half, they went into like the mid-low block. Tom was making some really good, clever movements to try and break the lines to get on the ball. And he's a constant threat in terms of attacking point of view. He's moving off the ball. And for the size of him, he's really good in terms of his first touch and his passing, his end product. And he deserves that goal tonight. Even the others in there. And in terms of the environment that we have, in terms of the 17s being the first year group and the 19s being second and third years, where they train together. Sometimes obviously in terms of coming together to do shape work, 11v11, small-sided games, tournaments, the first years, they're being challenged against older players. And like I say, it's, the first years have got the ability to play in the 19s, but then playing week in, week out as a first years group in a 19s league, we think it's working dividends. And when they do step into the 19s, you can see the positives from it. But they are like one family, the 17s and 19s. Even though they're 2 teams, we are as one.
And looking at Brandon Dadson, he got 2 more goals to add to his tally for the competition as well. He's made a great start in the league campaign as well. What did you make of his contribution today? Yeah,
Brandon's one that's not starting many games in the 19s. More often he's always in the squad and on the bench. But whenever he's come on in the 19s or even started in the 18s in the Youth Cup, but that's for the hard work day in, day out that he does in training. And that's the message to the boys: when you're not in the team, when you're not starting games, you have to work hard in training and make sure you're at it all the time. So when you do get your opportunity, you're ready. And that's Brandon. He's going to get opportunities in the 19s as the season goes on. But at the moment, he's pretty unfortunate. He got third years in there that are playing really well in his position, but his attitude, his professionalism is always spot on, like it is with all the boys. But that's something we wouldn't allow. We wouldn't allow people with bad attitudes not to work hard. Otherwise, they wouldn't play anywhere in the squad. So yeah, Brandon's got his rewards tonight for the work he puts in day out in training.
Third clean sheet in the row in this competition. How pleasing is that for you?
Over the moon for the boys, and see it in training. You know, how much it means to them to score a goal, keeping a clean sheet and defending and tackling and putting blocks in. They celebrate that just as much as scoring a goal in training. 9 goals in 3 games and 3 clean sheets is some going. You know, and whoever we get in the next round knows they come against a group of lads that are going to be hard to play against and hard to score against, and will create chances. I think going into the second round, the quality of the opposition is going to go up a notch again, but they fully believe they get into the third round.